Welcome to the Title I Roadshow. This presentation is brought to you by the Charles County Public Schools Office of Title I and Community Schools. Today, we'll take a quick tour of how Title I works, what it supports, and how it helps our schools and families succeed. During this presentation, we will review information about the Title I program and its requirements under the law. At the end, you will be asked to complete a short reflection form. Title I Part A. Title I Part A is the largest federal education program that helps academically at-risk students in public and non-public schools. It is designed to ensure that every child receives a high-quality education and meets state standards. Funding is generated based on free and reduced price meals and community eligibility provision data. Title I funds help schools by providing additional teachers and instructional support, tutoring and technology, family engagement activities, and professional development for staff. There are two types of Title I programs. A targeted assistance program only provides services to students who are failing or most at risk of failing. In contrast, a school-wide program uses Title I funds to upgrade the school's entire educational program for all students. Currently, Charles County has 11 school-wide Title I programs. Public school eligibility and ranking. Each year, schools are ranked for Title I eligibility based on poverty data and the district's annual poverty cutoff rate. Schools with poverty levels at or above the district average are prioritized for services in rank order. At present, the Title I office serves students in pre-K to 8th grade. Here is a list of the 11 Title I schools in rank order by percentage of poverty. Please pause to review the data. Equitable services. The law requires school systems to use Title I funds to provide equitable services to eligible non-public students, families, and teachers. Non-public students who live in a Title I school zone and have an academic need qualify to receive services. The Title I office partners with 7 non-public schools to provide tutoring, family engagement activities, and professional development for teachers. School improvement. The Title I office supports schools identified for improvement under ESSA. Identified comprehensive support and improvement schools are among the lowest achieving 5% of Title I schools or have a graduation rate of 67% or lower. Additional targeted support and improvement schools are identified because a student group is consistently underperforming as defined by the state. Targeted support and improvement schools do not meet the criteria for ATSI or CSI. However, one or more student groups are consistently underperforming. The law requires that the state, district, and school leaders engage various stakeholders to develop and implement a plan for improving these schools. This slide outlines the identified schools for improvement. Overall, the Title I office supports 22 out of 38 schools in Charles County. Teachers and instructional support staff. Under ESSA, instructional staff must have certain professional qualifications. All teachers working in a Title I school must meet state licensure and certification requirements. At a minimum, paraprofessionals working in a Title I school must have 48 college credit hours, hold an associate's degree, or have successfully passed the parapro exam and hold a high school diploma. If a teacher or paraprofessional does not meet these requirements, Human Resources will work with that staff member to obtain these qualifications. Paraprofessionals working in a school-wide Title I program may be assigned to do one of the following: provide one-on-one tutoring during non-instructional times, assist with classroom management, assist in the media center or computer lab, conduct family engagement activities, act as an interpreter if approved by the Office of Communications, or provide instructional services to students working under the direct supervision and in close proximity of a teacher. On the other hand, Title I tutors must work directly with students and may only be assigned to instructional activities. Funding and documentation. Charles County's Title I grant award for school year 25-26 is $5,007,358. In order to spend Title I funds, schools must first submit a formal request known as a use of funds along with supporting documentation. The Title I office conducts a multi-layer review of all use of funds before being approved or denied by the director. Schools must receive an approved use of funds from the Title I office before any funds can be spent. Here you will see examples of supporting documentation and budget categories. Having strong documentation is extremely important when working in a Title I school. MSDE requires that the Title I office and schools keep SAN and SANE documents. All meetings must have SAN documentation, which includes a sign-in sheet, agenda, and notes. Any workshops, PDs, or other training must have SANE documentation, which includes a sign-in sheet, agenda, notes, and evaluation. District-wide initiatives. All Title I schools participate in district-wide initiatives. These initiatives are fully funded by the Title I office and include instructional programs, professional learning, and family engagement. This slide outlines the list of district-wide initiatives for school year 25-26. Please pause to review. Family engagement. Title I schools are required to actively partner with families to support student learning and school improvement. Title I family liaisons are non-instructional staff members who work directly with families to promote advocacy and facilitate successful family engagement practices. By law, 1% of the Title I grant must be used for family engagement. This funding must be spent in full by the close of the grant period. Principals may also allocate additional funding for family engagement over and above their school's 1% budget. The Title I Early Childhood Program works to prepare children to be school-ready when entering kindergarten. The Title I office offers training and workshops to early learning center families and participating child care providers. The Title I office also provides classes for child care providers to build their professional knowledge so they may offer a more academically rigorous program at their centers. Community schools. Effective September 1st, 2025, the community schools and McKinney-Vento programs were merged with the Title I office. The state determines a school's eligibility and funding allocation based on its poverty concentration levels and number of eligible students. Identified community schools are awarded a concentration of poverty grant to provide personnel and wraparound services. Community school coordinators are responsible for building partnerships that support long-term program sustainability. This slide shows all 14 community schools in Charles County. This concludes the Title I Roadshow. If you have any questions, feel free to contact a member of the Title I team. Please scan the QR code or click the link to complete a short reflection form. Thank you for your participation.